Half a day passed in the blink of an eye. 5 towering spires had appeared throughout Erebonia, as well as a massive floating stronghold. At first the people fell into panic, but announcements from the imperial government eventually calmed their unrest. And so, though some did with exhausted resignation, others with an eerie sort of excitement, all turned to face tomorrow's coming war. Those on the Courageous Two quickly sent out emergency messages to all their allies. Together they worked tirelessly, attempting to make sense of the situation as much as possible. As a result, they concluded that the ancient floating fortress had appeared as part of the final stage of the Empire's curse. Its powerful energies would further twist and warp the people's minds in order to drive them to endless war and bloodshed. In addition, the true nature of the numerous white spires was instantly clear to those with ties to the church. They were nearly identical to the Salt Pail, the product of a singularity and the cause of the Northumbrian disaster 28 years ago. I wonder if the curse was somehow connected to the original Salt Pail. It was hypothesized they were created from residual matter of the original Salt Pail that had remained underground. However, unlike the original Salt Pail, these new ones did not convert their surroundings to salt. Rather, they appear to be spiritually linked to the floating fortress. A multi-layered barrier was also observed surrounding the fortress, with initial analysis revealing it to be completely impenetrable. Operation Jormungand showed no signs of slowing, but the resistance represented by Mil Mirage was also gathering momentum. Calvard, Liberal, and Remy Feria mustered their forces, along with support from the Viceland army. The time for the continent's two great powers to clash drew nearer and nearer, with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. Oliver, Rean, and the rest of the Radiant Wings would not stand idly by and watch fate unfold, however. As they were trying to decide their best course of action, they received an unexpected message from an old friend. It was George. He had called in to fill them in on what was happening. The massive object that had appeared over the Osgiliath Basin was an ancient superweapon of the gnomes, the Tuatha De Danaan, otherwise known as the Imperial Fortress. It was an airborne structure from before the Great Collapse that had been hidden away in a space-time distortion caused by the Great One's birth. For the past millennium, the gnomes had been carrying out large-scale renovations on the fortress. It had been converted to connect to the Pales and interface with the curse through them, turning it into the ideal stage for the rivalry of the Seven. It was there that they intended to hold the final rivalry once the Great Twilight had reached its climax. All for the sake of reforging the Great One. However, though it was faint, a single spark of hope yet remained. The members of the Radiant Wings gathered together, joined by key personnel from the Mil Mirage. And together they began devising an all-or-nothing plan to combat the dire situation before them. And so it was that on the eve of the clash between Jormungandr and Mil Mirage, a further operation was born. Their course of action decided, all those involved gathered together at a certain location in Crossbell. Okay, so we have some sort of barrier around Mishelam, I guess. We use this as our base of operations for some reason. Maybe we have some kind of plan here using Maria Bell's old technology?
I think it turned out very well. Thanks for your help, everyone. It's not half bad if I do say so myself. Good work.
We should be thanking you guys. You're the ones who did the heavy lifting.
I still find it pretty hard to believe you were able to make a barrier over all of Mishelam.
It's something that could only be accomplished through combining the witch's spells, our stigmas, and the Merkaba. Not to mention the raw power of 2 divine knights.
And then we were able to convert the Panchergirl's orbal energy into mana to sustain the barrier.
Ha ha ha! Such beautiful teamwork! If we can do something like this, the sky's the limit!
We ain't exactly here for a team-building exercise, you know.
In any event, the barrier should hold. At least for tonight.
It'll be able to absorb a few hits from any railway cannon shots that come our way. Not that we'll need to worry much about them, given they'll be busy with the war for the time being.
I'm sure as far as the Chancellor is concerned, we're simply some minor rabble beneath his notice.
He probably sees us as nothing more than the opening act to the Great Twilight.
Opening act nothing. Doesn't he know we're the main event? Oh, hey there, everyone. Good to see you guys. How are your rooms? Did you drop off all your things already?
Yeah. Honestly, I was blown away by how ritzy this place is.
I can't believe we have it all to ourselves.
Right? Even locals like us don't get many chances to stay here.
The last time was when Maribel invited us after the trade conference.
Oh man, that seems like it was 100 years ago.
Thinking back, it's kind of a bittersweet memory.
We still had a lot of fun, though!
Looking around, we've got quite the crowd here now.
Yeah, and a lot of us are from Thor's, too.
We might as well live it up then. This is our last night before everything goes down, after all. You're right. Tomorrow's when everything will be decided.
Our future rests on the success of Operation Shining Steel.
Not Cold Steel?
Though honestly, it's still a pretty dicey plan.
A few hours ago.
So, this is Operation Shining Steel then?
After reviewing the whole plan like this, it seems more reckless than it does bold.
We may not have much margin for error, but I think this could actually work.
So basically, we're gonna get a bunch of teams to raid all the salt pails at once, put them out of commission, and then have the Courageous 2 charge into the fortress while its barrier is down. That about sum it up?
Yes, but there's little chance that things will go so smoothly. I'm sure we'll have a number of unforeseen circumstances to deal with. Our top priority, however, is making sure the Divine Knights and Class 7 get to the target.
That's right. So even if something goes awry and the Courageous 2 is unable to land, we can continue with the plan. As long as Rean and the others can successfully board the fortress in time, we still have a chance.
Our foes will try to end the rivalry of the Seven as the Great Twilight reaches its climax. If we manage to seize control of the rivalries before then, however, we may be able to prevent them from achieving their goals.
At this point, they think they've already won. It's likely they'll welcome Instructor Rean since they need him to finish the rivalries. And that will be our chance.
That's all fine and good, but what about the salt pails? One glance and you could tell they're bad news. They're giving off one hell of an ominous vibe.
Yes. They seem to be pulsing with energy from the lower planes. And this same energy is what's letting them act as singularities, making them nearly impregnable.
Further,
given the devils that have been appearing all over lately. I get the feeling we may find even worse things protecting each of the Pales.
Yes. It's something we'll need to be prepared for.
Well, if we know what we gotta do, then all that's left is to go do it.
That's right. It's our turn now.
You can leave one of the salt pails to the Liberal team. We just gotta decide on which of us is going.
The same for us in the SSS. As members of the Radiant Wings, let us help clear a path for you and the others.
Estelle, Lloyd, everyone.
Aw, you guys.
Guess we should have seen this coming, huh?
You can count on us, too.
Duvali, are you sure?
Yes. Since my lord's passing, I've managed to clear my mind a bit.
The time has come for the Gralsritter to unite once more, to see our lord's will done.
Our lord saw fit to grant you her power. It's our duty to carry her torch to light your way.
All of you.
Don't forget to save some seats for us, huh? We'll be teaming up with those Stalwart gals, if that's okay.
The boss would have wanted as much from us.
Zeno, Leo.
Sheesh. This is one hell of a lineup. In that case, you can add Sharon and me to the list of volunteers.
As maid of the Reinford family, I would be honored if you would allow me to fulfill this particular role.
Angie! You too, Sharon?
Lady Angelica and I have also suffered at the hands of our foes. After careful discussion, we have decided it would only be appropriate to return the favor.
From what I hear, Lieutenant Colonel Mueller will be returning to the Courageous 2 tomorrow. I figured I'd leave the steering up to the expert, so I can get back to kicking some ass.
Sharon, Angelica.
Then you can count me in too.
Can't let you do that, Toa. We need you here. You've got both the Courageous 2 and the entire operation to look after.
Angelica's right. I'd very much prefer you to remain at your post.
I'll be on the bridge as well. But even then, I suspect we'll have our hands full manning the air defenses.
Understood. There's no need for concern, Toa. We're all in this together. Every one of us has their own part to play.
Thank you, both of you. But still, we can't just send them out by themselves.
And I guess you'll just have to let me join them.
Huh, so that's why you two were acting weird.
I'm sure you must think I have no right to come back like this. I can't possibly make up for everything I've done. But I'm going to help anyway. Because I'd rather not get the same failing marks Franz did.
George.
So that makes 3. Not as many as I'd like, but...
Then allow me to lend you a hand.
Grandmother.
I fulfilled my duty as a witch, and Leanne has passed. Now that I have played my part, I may as well bloom one final time for you young folk. Were we to add my strength to that of the Ragnar girl, a former gnome, and the Reinford maid, would that be sufficient?
That'd be more than enough. But if it's possible, I'd prefer to have the curvier version of you come with us.
Angie, I don't think now's really the time.
It would be our pleasure to have you accompany us, Lady Roselia.
For crying out loud.
We now have 4 groups. Our forces have expanded considerably.
But what about the last pail?
You can leave that one to me.
Principal Le Guin!
Aren't you supposed to be focusing on all that meal mirage stuff?
Certainly. But the plan has always been to leave the first day of the operation in Wallace's hands. I'll be taking over tomorrow, once the war begins in earnest.
Lieutenant General Bright anticipates that both sides will spend the first day scouting, with perhaps a few light skirmishes at best. Presumably, General Van Dyke will mobilize the Imperial Army with a similar mindset.
All bets are off once that second day hits, however. Odds are, all 8 battlefronts will erupt into all-out carnage at about the same time.
The Imperial Army will likely be forced to a halt in both Liberal and Remiferia. You can expect they'll deploy their strongest armored divisions, the 3rd and 4th included, at that time.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case.
And the reason you're helping us out is so things don't get to that point, right?
Perhaps. It should be a suitable warm-up for the decisive battle to come, at least. Though, of course, I won't be going it alone.
It's as the General says. We too will be assisting you. For the first day, anyway.
This will be my final duty as head of the Arcade School. I shall prove us worthy in succeeding the Sandblock name.
I don't know if I measure up to these 3, but this is as good a chance as any to make up for all the time I lost.
Father! Toval!
I had a feeling Vita would show up to help. Can't pass up a chance to hog the spotlight, huh, Vita?
Show him what you can do, Zero Artisan.
Thank you. We couldn't be more lucky to have the 4 of you with us. That goes for the rest of you, too. Estelle, Lloyd, Doolally, Angelica, Sharon, each and every one of you.
Indeed. And with that, I hereby declare Operation Shining Steel officially underway. We fly tomorrow at noon as Mille Mirage and the World Serpent begin their clash.
We'll be rendezvousing with the rest of our allies in Mishelam later today. This may be the last time we're all together, so we're planning to have a small celebration of sorts. We were hoping all of you could join us.
It would seem that everything is coming along quite nicely. Yeah, this is the last place I expect to spend the night before a war. I still can't believe your dad booked the whole hotel out for us, and on a discount too. Well, they weren't going to have any customers otherwise. It was kind of a win-win situation, really. And I see. In other words, Mishi has no choice but to entertain me for as long as I crave. Okay, Tuatha, have some pity on the poor chump inside him, will ya? I just wish Noelle, Rishia, and Shizuku could have made it, too. Yeah, but at least we can look forward to seeing them after all this is over. Besides, Yona, Sully, and Cecile should be arriving any moment now. Oh, it may please you to know, my father's operation was a success. So I've heard. They say he started to come around, too. Really? Guess the curse decided he'd be more useful as a living icon than a murderer. Already? Wow, that's great news. His Majesty has been on all of our minds. That he has. This should help bring some hope back to the people. Well, wonderful relief, right, Olivier? Quite so. I'll never be able to thank Dr. Stalin enough.
Sorry we're late.
Mueller. I had no idea Father and Toval would be coming. Good to see you again, Doolally. What happened to the late nights 2 and 3? You're running a bit late. The same applies to the 2 from Zephyr. Oh, okay. Patrick, you came all this way too? Indeed, I shall be supporting Operations Shining Steel from the field. I plan to visit His Majesty on behalf of my father as well, should time permit. And you're probably hoping to go on one of the rides of Elise, right? I'm sure he'd appreciate that. We should request an audience with the Emperor ourselves, no? Probably, but might be kind of tough too. That aside, we have yet a few more arrivals to introduce. Ones that proved a tad more troubling to arrange. Come on, you guys, no need to be shy.
Pardon us. It's good to see you all again.
Dad? What are you doing here? George. So you came too. Like I said in call, I still don't know if I really deserve to be here. But once the operation starts tomorrow, I won't be moving out of anyone here other than Angie. I get how selfish this might sound, but I just want to see you all one last time. Oh, George, you big dumb lug. Yeah, what a soppy idiot. But he's our soppy idiot. George. Huh. What a soft-hearted disciple I found myself. Geez, you guys are just as melodramatic as Class 7 is. Well, I'm surprised you managed to make it here, Mr. Bright. It's more than surprising, it's practically unbelievable. Does that mean you're all done preparing for Mill Mirage then? That's right, I'd like to say all is well, but that may be a bit preemptive. All in all, I'd put our chances at 60% against us. Though with General Van Dyke as our opponent, even that level of optimism may be misplaced. I see. We believe in you, Dad. Yes, we're very grateful for all you've been doing. Though my work as commander of tomorrow's operation is concluded for tonight. I thought perhaps I'd come and visit, both to wish you every success in Operation Shining Steel and to see where I might lend you our aid. Oh, and one other thing, I have a message to pass along. How serendipitous it is that our promised embodiment would arrive so soon. We do have a few guests we're still waiting on. What say we all head to our venue for now? Sure thing, Grandfather finished preparing the guest house for us earlier. Speaker McDowell did all that just for us? That's very kind of him. I'll have to take the opportunity to thank him in person. Well, what are we waiting for? Let the celebration begin. In Fuss in the guest house of Mishelam's Villa grounds, the send-off party for Mill Mirage commenced. Class 7's new and old sat among their fellow instructors, alumni, and classmates. The liberally embracers of Special Support Section, members of the Septian Church and Hexen clan alike. And even those visiting from Calvard and Remiferia had all come as one to join the festivities. Together they mingled, if only for tonight, enjoying food and conversation in the warm comforts of camaraderie. Laughs were exchanged on the eve of war, as they each shared in their hopes of what the morning would bring. And then... even the main campus is here. Guess we're gonna get a chance to watch Sydney crash and burn. Seems everyone's still got plenty of party left in them. Night's still young after all, plus we got the whole park to ourselves too. That reminds me, why don't you give us a performance, Elliot? Yeah, I still got goosebumps from the last time I heard that violin of yours. Really? I mean, I'd love to, but where would I even play? Hey, wait a minute. Where did Eustace run off to? I believe he went to go find Milliam earlier. That does sound like something he might do. This is their last night together, after all. Yeah. Looks like George and Angelica are getting in some time alone themselves. That said, don't you guys have any special someones of your own? Oh, shoot. Of your own you should be spending the evening with? Quality guide time is great and all, but tonight could be the night, you know? Okay, we all see what we're getting at. They do have a point, though. Yeah, now he's got me thinking. Well, I know a certain guy who's got more to think on than all of us combined. Indeed, rather irritating when you put it that way. Why are you all looking at me? Congrats, Lloyd, you're not the most clueless guy in the room for once. I'm nowhere near as bad as him. At least I have some self-awareness. I say you're about the same, but Rean does have quite a few more options. But that's easy for you to say, lover boy. Yeah, Joshua, you're lucky you got an OTP. I don't know of any future protagonists will. In any case, it's just as you said. This may very well be our final night. You especially will have more than a few things to make clear tonight. Yeah, I bet you've had a ton of girls confess their love to you as it is already. Well, either way, you won't want to wake up tomorrow with any regrets. What if you got to this point without doing a single bonding event? Then no one would be able to confess to Rean. Indeed, you should let a certain individual know how you feel, no matter where those feelings may lie. Patrick. You're right, I know what I have to do. You have to give her your answer sooner or later. He's right, tonight might be the best chance you'll get. Anyway, let's go enjoy whatever evening we got left. Should be plenty for us to do between the beach and the park. They're also keeping the stores here in the center open for us too. There's still a lot of fun to be had, with or without the special gal. Oh, before I forget, my dad had something he wanted to tell you, Rean. You should go and see him when you get a chance. Yeah, sure thing. Anyway, you guys have a good time out there. We will. See you later. Been trying to keep my role as a sacrifice out of my mind, but Bro was right. I don't want to end this with any regrets. I'll need to find the opportunity to speak with Cassius too. And with Valimar, now we can finally can again. There's the tickets His Highness gave me. I may as well use them while I can. I'll have to make sure to give everyone here my thanks, and of course get my feelings out in the open. Eventide Night of Promises. 5 tickets. We used during the special send-off party to participate in various attractions with a special companion of your choice. You can deepen bonds like normal bonding events. Choosing a member you form a close bond with may trigger a special event in the future. The companion you can invite changes depending on the attraction, so use your tickets wisely. You can progress the main storyline once you've used all 5 tickets and seen all major events. Jubilee Stallritter outfit and personal outfit. It's been quite some time since the entire swimming club got together. Yeah, and maybe the first time we've done so outside of practice. Well, a place like this, I figured the bigger the group, the bigger the fun, right? Where do you want to hit first, Sally? The beach? The park? I think I'd like to hit the food stalls. Maybe we should do that after the horror coaster. Getting spooked might help us build up an appetite. Sure, sounds good to me. The horror coaster, I must admit, just thinking of it sends a little chill up my spine. That's all part of the fun. Well, Tina's going to be going around the park with the swimming club, huh? I'm glad she's finally comfortable enough to go have fun with her friends. Okay, so I was thinking we could go shopping, or maybe ride the Ferris wheel together. Oh, but I'd also like to check out the Castle of Mirrors and the food stalls. Okay, cool your jets, we're not gonna have time for all that. Don't forget we're meeting up with Estelle and the others later. You're right, I'm gonna have to prioritize. So, Aggie, I was wondering, how do you feel about, about what? Nothing. Alright then. Anyway, whatever you want to do, I'm up for it. You've got me for the whole evening. I know that's not a ton of time, but I figure there's still plenty we can do. Just not everything. Thanks, Agate. Those two are close, it's really sweet. I feel like something between them is a little different from usual, though. I could be wrong, though, and I'm definitely not about to bring it up. Oh, Instructor Rean. Well done, Instructor. Aurier, I didn't realize you were here. And you're the girl from Arkansas. I was in the neighborhood to see Zex and decided to catch up with Mueller. Along the way, this young lady helped us out of a sticky situation. It wasn't that big a deal, really. You could have handled it without my help, so just hurry up and forget about it. I'm feeling a little lost here. Apparently, Mother and Mueller ran to the Imperial Defense Force on their way to Mishelam. Slowly helped them to slip away before things could escalate. It wasn't anything special, I just worked with Pyle, Plea, and the others to draw their attention toward the station. You also treated the public to a fantastic performance at your rehearsal. When I heard you were part of Operation Shining Steel, I knew I had to find some way to thank you. Won't you spend a little time with us so I can thank you properly? Well... Hey Swordboy, she's your mom, right? Say something to her. Sorry, but once she takes a liking to someone, it's not impossible to tear her away. At this point, I would just recommend playing along. What's the worst that can happen? If you like, I'll come with you and make sure things don't get out of hand. Okay, fine, but I don't know about this whole mom thing. I can't imagine this is how any of them thought they were going to spend their evening. Well, maybe Aurier. Secretary Lucy, Lieutenant Kayla, good to see you. I didn't know you were invited. Well, the prince was kind enough to reach out to us. We don't get many chances to relax and forget about work, so we're going to make the most of it tonight. By the way, Josette, I'm really glad I got to thank you in person again. Oh, what for? I helped ship those rogue Hercules members back to Calvard. Or I organized it. Don and Kyle were the ones who actually put them on the Bobcat and took them across the border. Oh, so that's how you work things out. That's right, the Kapua delivery service always comes through in a pinch. Lucy had introduced me to Josette previously, and she seemed like the perfect choice to handle this matter. We're lucky to have a friend like you, Josette. By the way, I've heard some fairly interesting rumors about your love life. Is it true you and Chloe are both interested in the same guy? Where are you? Oh right, I forgot you and Chloe are so tight. The love triangle of Princess Claudia, that does sound interesting. Not you too, Kayla. That's all in the past now, and besides, I finally made up my mind about the whole thing. If you two find romance such a fascinating subject, how about you tell me about things on your end? Oh, I'm so sorry, but I couldn't possibly disclose that kind of personal information. CID regulations. Well, that isn't fair. Then it's your turn, Lucy. I doubt you have any kind of trouble getting guys. Isn't there anyone you're into right now? Lecter? Oh, I don't know. I know it's not the same, but there's this guy in my life who I find completely infuriating. In fact, I wish he were here right now so I could punch him in his stupid, handsome face. Oh, Lucy? Seems Josette's not the only one in the messy romantic situation. Huh. That had to have been about Major Lecter, right? Let's throw it back to you, Josette. Right, there's so much more I want to ask you. Oh, come on, you two didn't tell me anything. Seems like a good time for me to duck out. I doubt there's anything I can contribute to this subject. Hey Toval, Major Michael, out for a couple of drinks? You know it. Come to think of it, I never got a chance to properly thank you for helping me back in La Mer. We couldn't have stopped those railway cannons without you, Zero Artisan. Hey, it was a team effort. We wouldn't have gotten far without you in command. Anyhow, tonight's not about work. Drink up. Let's enjoy ourselves. I didn't realize you were such a lush. To tell you the truth, I'm not. Ayn can drink me under the table any time of the week. She's proven that time and time again. I prefer to savor my liquor, but with her, it always turns into some kind of contest. Drunks like her are always... Makes sense that the head of the Gralsritter can hold her liquor, I guess. I feel your pain, Toval. It's the same for me whenever I go out with Principal Aurelia. She just keeps chugging drinks like there's no tomorrow, and she expects me to try and match her pace. Taking the time to enjoy the flavor and the aroma of each drink is much more my style. Heck, you said it. We knew you and I had so much in common. My thoughts exactly. It's nice to see these two hang it off. Come to think of it, they both have a similar outlook on life. I'm surprised they weren't already friends before now. So, Rean, you play Vantage Masters? I do, and since you're asking, I'm guessing you do too? Well, yeah, I've liked games like these ever since I was a kid. Since we've got a little time on our hands, what do you say we play a couple of rounds? I'll even up the ante a little. You beat me, I'll give you a special prize. Well, with a pitch like that, how can I say no? Okay, let's hope he doesn't have anything too crazy. Sorcerer.
Let's get this game going.
Oh no.
Not half bad.
Quick Caliber 5. I'll throw in a little extra for you this one time. Have some fun with it. Mishelam ticket. Oh yeah, nice, thanks. Does it boost my casting speed? Yes, it does. Hard mode.
Let's get this game going.
Ow. Sacrifice yourself just to hurt me, huh? Steal this real quick. Summon you. Nuts. Wow, return victory. Nice. Now tell me, what is the current status on your end? Well, I've just about completed most of the things you asked from me. As for the information sharing network we're using to consolidate tomorrow's technical data, given our cooperation with the Viceland forces, we should be sitting at a framework completion of around 80%. In other words, not yet complete. You're losing your edge, second disciple. Oh, come on, Professor. That's unreasonable, even for you. You're the one who sprung this colossal project up on the spot, no questions asked. It ain't getting that done that quickly. Sounds like you guys have your hands full. Oh, Strozzer, I didn't see you there. My disciple and I are reviewing the logistical intricacies of tomorrow's plan. Now shoot. Sorry, just one quick question, I'll be gone. When you said an information sharing network, do you mean His Highness's sonorous seashell? Correctly assumed. Despite my disdain for these so-called artifacts, we cannot ignore its practicality in this particular instance. It's only the logical choice to make. Sounds a lot more worthwhile when you put it that way. Just wish you'd done so from the get-go. Oh well, we've got a ton of talent behind this thing, so we hope to have it all finished up sometime tonight. Hey ho, Uncle Makarov, it's finally finished. Ugh, it's subtle as always. Now I see, you're the one helping Instructor Makarov build up the tactical network, aren't you, Mick? Yep, gotta admit, she knows what she's doing, especially with... The tactic of what? Who work now? No wait, I know what that is. I think I heard you mention it before. You've gotta be kidding me. What have you been doing all this time then? Well, at first I was doing all the work Uncle Makarov asked me to, but then I got distracted and started working on a little side project instead. But get this, while I was testing things, I ended up making contact with a certain special someone. Someone you're really gonna want to talk with, Uncle Makarov. What the hell are you going on about this time? You can save the stupid hogwash for later. Stupid hogwash, am I? Wait, you're... Count Hohen Altheim of the Sutherland province, yes. Apparently you and I should have a little talk about my daughter Mary. Count Altheim, that's Instructor Mary's father. Oh man, talk about timing. Can't tell if it's lucky or lousy just yet, though. I contacted him totally by accident. Pretty super duper awesome of me, don't you think? Anyhow, tomorrow's battle is gonna be Mondo dangerous, so I think you two need to have a little heart-to-heart about Instructor Mary. I mean, you two have already been going out for like over a year. Over a year, you say? Goodness, I had no idea. It would seem my daughter isn't there with you right now, but that may be for the best. Now, perhaps you'd like to fill me in on the details. Why are there so many capitalized words? Mint, I'm begging you, keep that mouthy charbox of yours shut for once. I hadn't realized you left this loose and untied. How very remiss of you. You know, I don't tolerate sloppy work. You do well to finish the job you started. Not you too, Professor. Finish the job? You mean he's going to propose? Wow, wait, I can feel my heart racing laps already. Can all of you stop getting the wrong idea? I'm starting to feel a little bad for him now. Well, that was a big old flopperoonie. Uncle Makarov sure gave me an earful for it too. Still, maybe things will go okay between him and Instructor Mary's dad anyway. What's done is done. You should focus instead on the task at hand. Strozzer, I highly suggest you don't leave any business unfinished today either. I don't plan to, but thank you. It's nice to see even the professor has a soft side. And where are you gawking at? Is there something stuck on my face? Oh no, I was just gonna say goodbye. See you, Professor. Hey girls, doing a little window shopping? More than that, we've decided to pick out some clothes and accessories for each other. Actually, we could use her input on something, Instructor. Do you think Elise's outfit is a little too demure? I mean, her clothes have always been all kinds of elegant, but they're just so safe. Again, Muse, I've told you over and over that super showy clothes don't suit me. Oh, I don't know about that. I think it would be great for you to branch out and find your own style, Elise. Really, Rean? Hey, there's no harm in trying something new after all. Now into the fitting room with you. We're going to put together a brand new outfit for a brand new you. While we're at it, we should check out some of Marriage Cross's new stuff. I can pick out my own underwear, thank you very much. We've got some interesting friends, Elise. Well, visiting the Craigs, checking out what the stores have to offer? Yeah, it's just nice to get away for a little too. It's been a while since Fiona and I actually got to spend any time together. It really has. Maybe I'll pick something out for you, some little charm to keep you safe. You and I, sure, I like that. I know what you're thinking, that you can handle yourself, that you don't need your big sister taking care of you anymore. But I still worry, so promise you'll stay safe, Elliot. That goes for you too, Rean. Of course, Fiona, I promise. Me too, you can count on that. Brilliant time, and Rean, you've got to hear this. Seems Class and Co have gone and bought out this place too, and Hugo here's going on about an inspection and work and all. Well, as long as I'm in the neighborhood, why wouldn't I? We're re-examining our business policies, so I need to get a better grasp on how our subsidiaries do things. Check out the tryhard over here. Even ever the businessman, eh, Hugo? Businessman or no, though, I'm glad to have you here offering your support to your fellow Force students. It means a lot to have you with us, Hugo. The feeling's mutual, and I'll be doing everything I can to help. It seems the least I could do after all I've put you through. It's a relief to have you come to your senses at last. At least I know I wasn't wasting my time. Does my nut in that I cannot even escape Class and Co at an amusement park, though. Don't tell me you're jealous, Becky. If your association lacks the proper funding and influence, you've got no one to blame but yourself to blame. You what? Who'd be jealous of you, you mad numpty? I mean, sure, it'd be fun to break into live shows and merchandising, but grumble. Hugo and Becky make for quite the pair. Give this to Aurelia, but she's not in the party. Coco Panda. It's Crossbell special issue. Oh, hey, they do a higher exchange rates here. 21. Coming from Speaker McDowell. We had the unique opportunity to briefly interview Speaker McDowell on August 31st, the day before the start of the war. Addressing the residents of Crossbell, he had the following to say. About a year and a half ago, on January 14th, 70 years of Crossbell history as an autonomous state came to an end. We were not able to prevent that despite the love we harbor for our homeland. Powerless as I may be, even I can imagine a complex, rueful sentiment my fellow Crossbell citizens have lived with since that fateful day. We found ourselves at a dead end, and the more we look for a way out, the more hopeless it seems. No doubt many of us are exhausted from treading this seemingly endless path of hardship, but we must not forget about those who stood strong when we could not, those who continue to fight for our cause. They're still out there. We can yet find the strength to overcome the barriers that rebuff us and think together about what future we want for Crossbell. On the subject of Crossbell, starting today, access to Tangram Fortress and the surrounding area is restricted. Events the Stars of Arkansas shine again. Arkansas's long hiatus came to an end on August 30 when the troops staged an exclusive rehearsal performance, boosting morale on the eve of all-out war. Dazzling dancer and stage surprises. In the absence of two members from the troops' main ensemble, a new star rose in their place. Solia Trade, who debuted as the Star Princess only 2 years ago, dazzled the audience last night with her beautiful dancing. Heimdall Opera House's top performer, the formerly missing Vita Clotilde, also made a surprise appearance. Captivated by these two stellar performers, the audience erupted in a thunderous applause. Most of the seats were occupied by military personnel who received free tickets to the show. It was also broadcast live on truck monitors throughout the city's streets, courtesy of Speaker McDowell, so everyone could enjoy it. Bizarre phenomenon in Erebonia. Well, the air was rife with positive energy and Crossbell links to Arkansas's show. A disconcerting phenomenon occurred in Erebonia. 5 giant spires appeared all over the country, along with a massive flowing structure in the skies above Heimdall. The government announced the latter of these objects to be an Imperial Fortress, the ultimate weapon to be used against the Republic of Calvard, while the spires seem connected to it in some way. Till our flag flies again. Looking at an old issue of Crossbell Times, I let my thoughts drift back to the wintry day when we became Imperial subjects. Do we still have the strength to imagine a different future for Crossbell? If someone were to ask me, I'd answer yes without skipping a beat. Not because I'm putting on a strong front, or getting lost in some pipe dream, but because I know many others who share that same belief. We will always hold the spirit of Crossbell in our hearts. One day we'll probably fly our flag again. Coco Panda. Tamaro is the other Coco Panda. My name is Tamaro and I'm a Coco Panda. I prefer to do things on my own, so I don't spend a lot of time with the others in my pack. When I'm in a crowd, all I can see is everyone hiding their true intentions, subtly fighting over territory, obsessing over social standing, giving fruit just to make sure someone else owes them a favor. It all makes me sick. That's why I moved my bed to the edge of camp. I thought I could avoid all that stuff, live on my own, and solve my own problems. But Eiyuu, a panda I've known since we were cubs, was always pestering me. We're both usually in the same part of camp, so why don't we hang out for a while, she asked. We're only in the same part of camp because you moved your bed closer to where mine is, I think to myself. Tomorrow, stop, you can't eat that fruit, it's rotten, she said, grabbing my food out of my hand. Honestly, I'd rather eat rotten fruit than have to beg someone else for theirs. Why don't you call for help as soon as that bracken monkey attacked you, she grabbed me, tears still in her eyes. I didn't have an answer. Maybe deep down, part of me knew if I was in trouble, she'd come to my rescue. You might like the idea you're some strong independent loner, but in reality, when you push everyone away, you're just being self-absorbed. She was right. Anytime things got truly difficult, I ended up relying on her help in the end. I was only being so stubborn because I want everyone to think I could handle things on my own. The whole time, I just been acting tough, but I couldn't keep it up anymore. Eiyuu, I don't work hard at all. I'm just a pathetic excuse for a panda who's done nothing but take advantage of her kindness. I was only fooling myself thinking I was fine on my own. I'm such an idiot. But it's too late now. She probably couldn't even understand what I was saying anymore. She'd become a wild beast. I watched as she approached the bracken monkey snarling. It took a few quick strikes from her before the monkey was collapsed on a heap in a heap on the ground. I could tell he wouldn't be waking up anytime soon, but I knew I couldn't relax just yet. Her opponent defeated, Eiyuu began to gnaw on the fern-like crest on his head. I can only imagine that she saw as just another plant in her feral state. Eiyuu, stop, I pleaded. Don't do that. This isn't like you. I grabbed her and tried to pull her away, but it was no use. She was the strongest Coco Panda I knew. Even if I hadn't been exhausted from the battle, I wouldn't have been able to budge her. I wasn't about to give up, though. I couldn't let my best friend lose herself like this. I looked around for a way to help her, and saw my weapon lying on the ground nearby. I thought if I hit it with her just right, it might bring her back to her senses. But no, it was too risky. If I messed up, it'd just make her angry. If I had to fight her, I could end up going feral too. Eiyuu wouldn't want that. You said you didn't want to lose me. I looked at her and dusted myself off. Well, I don't want to lose you either, and I don't care what I have to do. This time I stopped acting tough. I took a deep breath and shouted for help as loudly as I could. I shouted until I was completely out of breath. It was the first time in my life I ever asked for help, but I didn't care anymore. Getting Eiyuu back to normal was the only thing that mattered to me. In mere moments, our entire pack had come to my side. When we heard you finally asking for help, we were also happy the whole pack came a run, one of them said to me. I recognized him. He was the same panda who had shared his food with us the other night. I never knew he could move that quickly. He'd always seemed like kind of dopey to me, but now his eyes were sharp and focused. It's Eiyuu. She got her protecting me, and now she's gone feral. Please, I need your help to calm her down. I stumbled over my words, trying to get everyone to get them out as quick as I could. Everyone banded together to drag Eiyuu away from the monkey and hold her still. But then, with a swift blow to the head, they knocked her out. She slumped to the ground and lay there, as if she'd simply fallen asleep. That'll do the trick. Now we better go and grab her some of her favorite berries. That smell will help wake her up, the helpful Coco Panda said. The others all went to gather some berries and place them in a neat little pile right in front of Eiyuu's face. After a few moments, her nose began to twitch, smelling the sweet fragrance, and her eyes fluttered open. I'm okay, she said, still a little bit groggy. I couldn't believe my eyes. She was back to her old self. I was immediately overcome with relief, so much so that I might have even cried a little. It was then that I finally understood how she must have felt when she came to save me. Tomorrow, are you okay? My head hurts a little, but other than that, I'm fine, and... Huh? What are all of you doing here? She looked at the rest of her pack with a bewildered expression. It was no wonder she was confused. I bet she never expected me to swallow my pride and ask the whole pack for help. Everyone looked on with warm smiles as I took Eiyuu's paw in mine. I decided there and then that I wouldn't try to act tough anymore. I was going to tell her exactly how I felt. It's just like you said, it only makes sense for us to all help each other out. I turned to the rest of the pack. Thank you everyone for helping us. And thank you, Eiyuu, I said, turning to her, for always being there for me. From that day on, I decided to give the other Coco Pandas a chance. Turns out that working together wasn't so bad every now and then. We're all friends now, and the days I spend with Eiyuu and the others are filled with smiles. I guess that's the end of this tale. Actually, I think all of them are finished except for 3 and 9 and maybe the Imperial Chronicle. Instructor Rean, I hope you enjoyed this special day at Mishelam. We're really enjoying ourselves. I don't know how to thank you for letting us have the run of such a wonderful resort. Don't worry about it. We haven't been getting many visitors recently anyway. And to tell the truth, I actually became acquainted with the traveling bard Olivier during one of his visits to Crossbell. After hearing about the situation, I wanted to do what I could to help. I see, His Highness has a lot of connections. He does indeed. You've done me a great service by looking after Yuna. Please try and relax tonight. Thank you, I will. No, wrong one. Something's going on in the hotel? It's a lot of people. Cassius as well. Wait, Instructor Neidhart, you're here too? That question answers itself, Schwarzer. General Craig offered me to get the lay of the land, so I thought I'd drop by. I'll have to return to my duties come dawn, of course. That's right, the 4th Division's moving out tomorrow. This may be the last time we ever see each other. Come on, Mueller, don't talk as though we're marching in the jaws of death. We're both making it back. We each have reasons we can't afford not to, right? I can't argue that. You two are so cool, I can hardly stand it. Just look at you macho military men. And this heartwarming, manly friendship you two have going. It's all too much. Instructor Thomas, I've been meaning to ask, but what are you even doing here? Isn't that obvious? As a former force instructor, I merely wanted to give my regards to my old colleague, Instructor Neidhart. Oh dear, did I interrupt a beautiful moment between these two? I did, didn't I? I can see it on your faces. No, not at all. While you're here, Thomas, it might be worthwhile to go over your part in the operation as well. Oh no, that's alright. Carry on, just pretend I'm not here. Easier said than done. You just can't resist stirring things up. Can't believe we get to eat as much as we want and all for free. This is real high-class stuff, and nothing on the menu's off limits either. This is even better than the party at Orcus Tower. Is this heaven? This must be heaven. Are you sure it's alright for me to join you? Of course, we're all 4 students. We may as well be friends. You guys might want to cut the small talk. This place may be all you can eat, but our time here is limited. We've got a big day ahead of us tomorrow, and we need to be fully fueled up for it. Yeah, it's not like we're gonna get another chance to chow down like this. You're right, my body's going to need energy if I'm going to bulk up. I'm not entirely sure it's possible to overeat and keep food in reserve like that. This is quite the eventful table. Oh, Rosalia, that's a different look for you. Surprise, this is my true form. The area within this barrier is rich in mana. And tonight's a full moon, which amplifies its effects even further. I'm truly in my element. Clearly. You invited Jubilee to come drinking with you? I don't usually indulge in alcohol, but this is a special case. I want to drink a toast to my lord's memory. Rean could really put him away. In that case, it would be disrespectful not to follow suit. That goes for you too, Schwarzer. Join us for a glass. This was my lord's favorite herb liquor, the finest drink to ever come out of Legram. Leanne's favorite, huh? I'd be honored to try some. Took a glass from Jubilee and drank the contents down in one gulp. Wow, the fragrance is really distinctive. It kind of tickles the back of your sinuses. Doesn't it just? I like that it doesn't go straight to your head or make you nauseous either. You can thank the medicinal effects of the herbs for that. I like something heavier for a night out, but this is a great little palate cleanser. The scent takes me right back to 250 years ago, for better or worse. Breckle's preference was always for hard liquor, of course. I believe it. I can actually still challenge Rosalia to Vantage Masters in this form. I'm curious, will she use her adult face portrait for this one? Yes, she does!
Let the game commence!
But she's using her kid voice! Huh. Well, that answers that.
One more match!
If only they went all into the details and had her adult form voice it properly too. Oh well. Alright, here's to the success of the rehearsal performance and the special joint issue of the Crossbell Times. Cheers. Cheers. Ooh, that was way more work than I thought it'd be. I mean, we did end up working across 4 different media outlets to get the word out. The Imperial Chronicle, the Crossbell Times, Imperial Chronicle Radio, and Radio Trista, all working together. It must be the most ambitious crossover event in media history. I'm really grateful for all your help. It feels like a lifetime since we last got to put a new issue out. It was my pleasure. I get a feeling the censors won't be too pleased with some of those articles, though. Now, we'll be fine. Between the war starting and the whole fortress situation, no one's going to have time to raise a stink about our paper. Yep, whatever happens, happens. Besides, can't we say the same about our little plan for tomorrow? Yeah, I guess we can. One more toast then, to the success of Operation Ultimate Journalist tomorrow. Cheers. Cheers. Let us see them all in high spirits. Sounds like they've got some kind of plan in place. Knowing these guys, it's probably gonna be something outrageous. Okay, there's actually a card game over here. Imperial Tea. What's its effect? Healing and EP. Rean, there you are. Thanks for coming. Joshua filled me in on the details. I heard you two knew each other from before. Yes, we became acquainted through Toval during the guild raid 4 years ago. Master Kafai told me much about Cassius as well, so we became friends in no time. And after that, I introduced you and Arios. That duel you two had will go down in history as one of the greatest feats of swordsmanship in Zemurian history. Well, I must say I was amazed that your staff mastery could see off her blades. They seem like they're in an entirely different league as far as skill goes, the Divine Blade of Wind included. Oh yes, about the discussion I mentioned. The night has just begun, so feel free to enjoy yourself a little bit more first. This matter might be a bit complicated. I had a feeling you might say that. His Highness gave you some tickets, did he not? This is your night. Spend it wisely. You should come back and speak to Lieutenant General Cassius after using free tickets. That reminds me, Joshua and the Earths told me about this Vantage Masters game. I've just assembled a deck myself, and I'm looking for an opponent to test it out on. Maybe you'd like to play a round or two with me if you get a chance. A military strategist would certainly make for an interesting opponent. Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm not all that confident I'll be much of a match for you, though. I'm sure he's gonna go for a lot of heavenly Natials. I don't expect him to go easy on you. Oh, he's doing the same thing!
Now then, shall we begin?
Oh no. He's gonna bring back all his super strong Natials. Got some kind of big range strategy. Okay, this is kind of sad. I'm beating this guy in the third turn, even though he's supposed to be General Bright himself.
I know when I'm beat.
Well, playing cards is different from an actual war, so I guess that would make sense.
Now then, shall we begin?
Finally got the first turn. Okay. Summon you. Oh no, Tent Arch! Versus, that's actually a pretty strong one if it due to its ability to hit all enemies. Last time I didn't get to see it, but this time I'll have to actually deal with it. Let's see if I do this. That'd be too risky. No, I can afford to sacrifice a few minions if I can just, since I'll just revive them later. It's only 2 damage. It's not gonna be good enough. No. That took a lot, but hopefully it'll be worth it. He has no hand, but he can revive his cards easily, couldn't he? Yes. Well, he didn't revive them this time. I think he can only revive them once, and then that's it. They're dead forever. Like anything that anything that dies once is basically voided for the rest of the game. Oh no. He has Rean as well. The last tent arch. Seal you up. Shoot. He might make a comeback, who knows? Wow, this is actually going neck to neck here.
You win. I know when I'm beat.
Whoa, there's a place I didn't expect to see. Well, if it isn't Anton, what brings you here? So, funny story, I put a request at the guild for info on Sharon. Seems like they that got them following up on a couple of leads, and next thing I know, my buddy Olivier invites me out here saying I'd be able to see her. I see, so you're a friend of Olivier's. Yeah, I got up to all sorts of stuff back in Liberal. Actually, I seem to be running into lots of people I know today. Braces from Liberal, Crossbell's special support section, and even Lucy, the exchange student who used to run the student council. To top it all off, we've got all of you guys from the academy. Everyone is here. Wow, is there anyone you don't know, Anton? By my count, he knows at least 20 of the people here. Anyway, I should get searching for Sharon. I'm so nervous I'm practically shaking, but I can't let this opportunity pass me by. I just need to work up the nerve and talk to her. I can do this. Good luck, Anton. Hello there, can I help you in any way? If there's anything you would like to know, please don't hesitate to ask. Young Master Patrick, allow me to congratulate you on your accomplishments in Eastern Arabonia. They're hardly worth congratulating. I merely assisted Lord Matthias and his allies in dealing with some unsavory characters. I'm far more impressed by what you've been up to, Salson. Taking care of my father and his affairs must have been no simple task. You flatter me. Compared to the Civil War, this was but a walk in the park. You deflected, young master, but you really have matured. That we can speak so casually about your involvement on the world stage is proof. In that case, Salson, wouldn't it be high time you stop calling me young master? Or do you still see me as a child? Well, I can hardly walk that back now, can I? Very well, Lord Patrick. I could get used to that. I'll be counting on you to take care of logistics tomorrow, Salson. I trust you will not let us down. But of course. You know, I'm actually from Liberal. I never thought I'd meet a bracer from Liberal in Crossbell, not in my wildest dreams. I've always admired bracers ever since I was a kid. But here I am meeting Estelle, Joshua, the Heavy Blade, and even the Silver Streak. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but meeting them is the highlight of my life. Oh, hello, Rean. Good to see you so hard at work. Hi, everybody. Emily, Faricia, I'm really glad you decided to join us. At first, I wasn't really sure we should, you know, it being a huge conflict of interest and all. But then Supreme Commander Van Dyke had us reassigned to an independent raid force. The what? We're a covert ops unit charged with taking down internal threats to the Empire at our own discretion. A big description, admittedly, but one that allows groups like Ouroboros and Jaeger Corps to fall under our jurisdiction. In other words, it's a unit created to give us the authority needed to fight this battle. Those rules sound dangerously vague, but so long as they have you fighting by our side, I'm not about to complain. And fight is what we'll do. I'm gonna make up for the sorry state you last saw me in. We're gonna give it our all to make tomorrow a major success. Now that we finally found a path we can believe in, we're more than ready to help out. Thanks, I knew we could count on you. That's right, this reconciliation is truly a thing of beauty. I hear a lot of other forest graduates in the army are getting the same treatment. They'll be able to participate in the operation, too. It's shaping up to be quite the reunion. I can hardly wait.
You have my deepest gratitude. You have my tears a little...
That's all I have so far.
Gratitude.
Angelica spoke to me earlier. She said watching you work is more beautiful than any painting. I was lost for words, but it's been a long time since I've been near someone so nice. Angelica's wonderful words have inspired me to work as hard as possible. No matter where we go, Angelica never holds back on the sweet talk. Oh wait. If she's in the same room as me... An antique shell cameo? What a splendid gift. Thank you, Schwarzer. I've acquired quite a number of intriguing art pieces in my time as a noblewoman. This will make a fine addition to my collection. Oh, I had no idea you were an art collector. I picked this gift for you to thank you for all your help and guidance. Your chivalry knows no bounds, does it? Allow me to gift you this in return. Goldia bracelet. A Goldia bracelet. I don't know if it's alright for me to accept something so valuable. It's a fair trade for the cameo. I hope it helps you in your endeavors. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Strength plus 400. I could sub this in for a Passionate Rouge. So it's not just music you're into, but painting and sculpture too. Count Oldheim has a reputation as a patron of up-and-coming young artists across Sutherland. Clearly a love of arts runs in the family. She really is impressive. You know, it may be an opportune time to say this, having recently tested you preparing the Force exams. I've always felt as though your talents were wasted at a military academy, Mary. Well, I did consider becoming a teacher at the music academy at one point, but I wanted to reach out to people who didn't have such a grounding in art or music and teach them how fun the arts can be. You're a woman of singular focus, I'll give you that. But I suppose that may be how you grew so fond of Makarov. You suffered a scruffy exterior and discovered who he was deep down. Instructor Makarov, huh? You really do know how to see the heart of a person, don't you? Makarov and I are simply moving at a snail's pace, I agree. What do you think, Wallace? How's their relationship look from a man's perspective? Me? The way I see it, Makarov is probably just looking for a chance to take things to the next level. A chance. I don't think it's my place to butt in on a conversation about Instructor Mary's love life. On that note, though, I'm a bit curious about what's going on between General Le Guin and Brigadier General Bardius, too. Well, I guess that's none of my business. Thanks for tuning into this Let's Play of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and or hit the bell icon.